Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today I have 5 cards for you using the Simon Says Stamp September 2019 card kit. And this really is not my style, which is why I only could do 5 cards for you. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm going to quickly kind of run through the kit and show you what's inside. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of unboxing, so I won't spend a lot of time. It's a very pretty stamp set, but it's kind of like sympathy type related stuff, which I'm not huge on. Also, the paper pack is a Vicky Bouton mixed media. It's got some really bright, pretty colors in it. Still, again, not exactly my style, but still very, very fun to work with. We've got some metallic cards, and we have this cool embossing folder. And then my favorite thing was the Nouveau gems. So I'm going to get started with card number 1 here, where trying to kind of stay off of the sad cards and kind of looking for the rainbowy stuff that's in the stamp set. So I picked background paper that had all the rainbow colors on it, and I'm just going to attach that down to my card base. And then I've got this distress edge die that I used, and that's a cat scrappiness die, and twice. So I used the biggest one and the smallest one. And I'm going to use the smallest little white cardstock that I cut out with the distress edge to put my sentiment and then just kind of build my scene. So I want to make a rainbow, and this is a rainbow just die from my stash, and then a couple of clouds. These are little lawn fawn clouds from a cloud die that I have from them. And then the smile I cut out of that same rainbowy paper that I've been using for this whole card, and that is a Darcy. I want to say a Darcy die that I think I picked that up at Tuesday morning. So I'm just going to kind of fiddle around with this and figure out where I want to put my rainbow, because I need my smile sentiment on there. And then I'm realizing as I'm messing around with this that it's not going to fit properly the way that I want it to. So I'm going to end up just tucking the rainbow behind that panel that's right there on top, and then putting the smile on the panel. So then there, that looks better to me. I like that better. And then I love these. This is my second favorite part of this kit is these. These were called, let me look it up really quick because I'm not even sure what they're called. American Crafts Chamel Box of Crayons Enamel Dots, and they are so sparkly, and they are the like coolest colors. They did a really good job of matching the colors in this card kit. Anyway, so move on to card number 2. I thought, since I'm not big on the flowers, I thought the birds were adorable. So I'm like, let's just put together a nice little thinking of you type card with the little birds and something kind of cheerful and bright and pretty. So I took some of the red cards. Pattern paper from the card stack that they give you, and I also am using my Art Impressions tag die to cut out some of the, it had some real fine writing on it, and it's got like a little bit of a rainbowy color to it. And then I fussy cut out the, I know that that is supposed to be a stem for the flowers, but I thought it would make a really kind of cool branch. So I took some of the leaves and kind of put them around that little, what I call a branch, popped up my birds. Now I'm going to pop up my little bluebird that's flying up in the sky. And I also cut and colored out the smallest, there's 2 butterflies on the stamp set. That's the smallest one. And then I just have the thinking of you, and then your, I think it says you're on my mind and in my heart. So, and actually I already used this card. I already gave it to someone. I'm going to put some of those Nouveau gems on there. These are really sparkly. It's hard to tell in my lighting and because I'm kind of far, but when you see these gems in person, you're going to want to have some because they are very sparkly. And that will complete this card. On to card number 3. There's a close up for you. A little better lighting on that. So for this one, I wanted to try something that I saw. I think I saw this on Pinterest, where people are taking the vellum and the thick vellum and turning it into like their card base. But I didn't want just a plain background for the vellum, so I decided to do like a layered card. So I'm taking some distress ink, which I've got the picked raspberry, fossilized amber, and evergreen bough, and I'm just making like this really, at first it looked really ugly, and then as it started to kind of melt together, it looked a little bit better, but just like a real splattery kind of background. I'm going to wet that down and kind of move some stuff around, and then I decided it wasn't getting enough, so I'm just going to smush it all over, and then I'm going to go back with those same colors and just kind of mix up little patches of it and splatter with each one of those same colors, the picked raspberry and fossilized amber and the evergreen bough. And then I also picked up this, it's like a silver metallic, um, I don't even know what it's called. I wish I could get over there to it, but I'm attached to my computer with my headset, so I can't even look at it. Maybe we'll be able to see it when I pick it up. But I did all my splattering, dried it all off, and then this stuff right here is like a silver metallic, and it looks almost like nail polish, but it's not. And so I just add a little bit of water to it. That wasn't giving me enough of what I wanted, so I ended up just going straight out of the bottle. You'll see here in a second because it just wasn't splattery enough. And then it got a little too splattery. So, but it's really pretty. And once it dries, it's real subtle. Like it's not, see how it's already just kind of fading down really fast? And then it gives this nice, pretty, like silvery, almost like a dark gray, silverish. I don't know how to explain it, but splattery look. And it's actually really pretty. And I had picked that up from, I bought that from Spellbinders, actually. So now I'm lining up my stamps here on the vellum. So this is a 110-pound vellum. Picked it up at the Scrapbook Expo this year, earlier this year, and this is the first time I've actually used it for a card base. So I thought this would be kind of interesting to do. And I'm just taking the stamp, doing it on both top and bottom, and then I put my little sentiment in the middle. I use some silver embossing powder, which I heat set onto there. And now I'm just going to slide the other card inside just to kind of give it some color behind it. Then I've got this Lawn Fawn white and silver baker's twine, and I'm just going to make a little bow here at the top. Nothing super fancy. I just kind of ran it around a couple times to hold the two cards together, and then just tie a knot with a little bow. And that is going to do it. So that's going to finish it up for that card. I thought that background was real pretty, having that bright colors behind it. And I thought about putting the gems on there, and then I changed my mind because I thought it had enough sparkle on the front with that silver embossing powder. But here's a close-up with a little better lighting. And we are on to the next card. So this one's super simple. This one's really fast. I took that embossing folder that came in the kit and used it just on some white. I was going to do just like a white on white. And then I thought, you know what, this purple metallic paper goes really well with the purple in that bird's, on the bird's head. They're almost exactly the same color, and I thought it would look really pretty behind it. So now I'm just taking some more of that white and silver baker's twine because it's sitting on my desk, and if it's not sitting on my desk, I don't think about using it, but since it's right in front of me, I'm like, oh, this might look cool. So I added that to the white panel, and then this is where I'm going to add a little double bow and place down, this is one of the cut aparts that came in the paper pack. I'm going to add that little bow, and then we're going to use some more of those crystals, the Nouveau crystals. I'm going to place those around the outside just for a little more sparkle. Like I said, this one was a super simple card, and it's got a really pretty little sentiment on there. So this could be like a everyday, just thinking of you kind of card. No sadness here. So I know we have to have those kind of cards around because unfortunately life happens, and having those kind of cards around is a good thing. But it really does, takes all the creative juices out of my brain when I'm doing cards like that. So I tend to stay away from them until I need them, and then I will do something when I need it, specific to the person that I'm making it for, but I don't generally make a bunch to have sitting around. I almost feel like I'm waiting for a disaster to happen, and I don't like it. So for this one, I decided to make a flat shaker card because that's my new thing. I love these flat shaker cards. I can't even remember where I saw it, but I thought, well, that's genius because then I don't need the tape, the double-sided foam adhesive. I don't need any of that. I don't need to worry about lining it up. It just works out perfect because you just put your what's that called? Oh my goodness, why can't I think of it? Acetate, yep, acetate. You just put that directly onto your top panel, and then you fill up your little shaker part. It just can't be thick, it's just got to be kind of thin shaker bits, and just some plain old, these are just some Nouveau champagne sequins. They're very sparkly, very shiny, very pretty. Just put a few of those right in the center and they slide around fine. Obviously, you can't put like chunky glitter or anything like that in there because it's not really going to move, but just some sequins, perfect. And then just no fuss, no muss. Just put some tape on that and then line it up. Super easy. And it makes such a pretty sparkly background for this. So then I took some more, so I still had some of that 110-pound acetate, not acetate, vellum. And so I decided to use a little piece of it to create like a little place for my sentiment. And I also cut and colored, fussy cut out the leaves and one of the big flowers from the stamp set. And I just used my Zig markers to color those in because I wanted something really bright to pop off the page. So I didn't use any water. It was just using, I think it was two of the reds, I think it's like 230 and 260 from the Zig markers. And now I'm just going to place my sentiment strip right across the front of my card. I was worried about how I was going to attach it, and I didn't think about it until after the fact, but it wasn't too bad putting the tape there. I couldn't really, because it's such thick vellum that you really can't see it too well, the tape behind it. And that's going to complete that card. I also put some shimmery Winka Stella on that card. So anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And I'm sorry this was such a short, just a 5-card video. Like I said, it was really hard for me to get into this kit, although it's beautiful. And like always, Simon Says knocks it out of the park when it comes to their kits. But this just isn't my little niche. So hopefully next month, I saw the release. It looks really good. Hopefully next month I'll be able to come up with a few more ideas for you guys. Anyway, have a great week, and I will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.